Welcome back, viewers. I'm Arunisha Sengupta, and today I'm going to talk to you about the particular question that I had asked you all last week. This particular question that I had asked was whether I would incur any kind of karmic repercussions if, say, for example, I have given certain spiritual exercises to certain people. And these spiritual exercises could be in the form of a basic deity puja, or initiated some people into Agnihotram, or have given some small little basic mantras for them to chant if those people have come to me with some kind of problem, or at the initial stage that those people have shown that they have certain spiritual inclinations, but I have not understood them, and I have probably given them these little basic spiritual exercises to do, and they don't continue to do it, or they leave it midway, or they criticize not just me but even spiritual path as such. Say for example, I had given a Banishwar lingam to somebody, considering that that person had shown keen spiritual interest while talking to me on certain subjects. Okay. And after I gave the Banishwar lingam, and there is a way that you have to do the puja of the Banishwar. There is just a simple Panchopchar puja is something that I had taught that person. And after some time, that person, after some time means after a little some time, the person just leaves doing it, doesn't continue to do. And so in such cases, or such kind of even basic spiritual exercises, if I have given to certain people, if they don't continue doing it, or they have some critical viewpoint, or any way, any matter, that they do not continue doing it and have uh, continue doing it, and or have negative things to talk about in those things, because I had faith on the person, and or on the faith of the deity, or faith on the deity, and or faith on the process. In a situation like this, do I have, or do I incur any karmic repercussions? This was the question that I had asked. Amazing responses I have received from many people. I had put this on Twitter, I did put this on Facebook, I put that on YouTube. Some comments came on the Facebook, some people, they DM'd me and all. It was an overwhelming response. I really loved it, that certain content like this is can be thought provoking, can make you think hard on spiritual discourse. So some amazing overwhelming responses I received. Some responses that I received were very complex in nature, and those responses, I think I can take, I can I can do a series of other content on it, or maybe take this as a sequel. uh, and I'll come to that. But before, I had also said that I will give you my take on it. And one of the people who had had given me his feedback is somewhat matching in the thought that I had. And thank you, Shivansh, for it. I would like to tell you, so what is my take on this. uh, I believe, okay, and not just me, but uh, it is said that even if you get one person on the path of spirituality, this is the best karma that you can ever do. Okay. So when I am either teaching people, or if I am giving certain, like for example, now I am doing this little bit of discourse, if any of you get inspired and take on to the spiritual path, it's a great karma that I will be doing. Not that I'm doing these videos for this, but I'm just saying that if one person can even get one person on this, if any person can even get one person on the spiritual path, then that person does a very good karma. Okay, it's a purusharth that the person is doing. Point number one. Point number two, there will be people which will give you setbacks. Having said, there has to be a certain amount of detachment that needs to have. If you are going to do a particular, even getting somebody on the path of spirituality with I-ness in it, there is bound to be this question which I asked, which means this is the question which had disturbed me, which means I had some kind of I-ness when I gave those puja paddhatis or spiritual exercises to certain people. I still could not detach myself from it, despite me being doing spiritual exercises for now a very, very long period of time. Yet I was not able to remove my I-ness from it. So, and that is why it disturbed me. Otherwise, this kind of a thought would not have come. Many people come and go. I would give certain spiritual exercises to somebody. Some people might do, some people might not do. I should feel detached about it, but I was not. And therefore, this question disturbed me. So I have to remove my I-ness. Okay. However, it is not a plain slate. It's not like a very linear, and it's not very easy and smooth. And this here I take the feedback that I have received from a very close friend of mine who gave me another angle, and that is related to a lot of things. Like there is Rinanubandha in it, there is karmic balancing that also needs to happen, and that I will very short I will tell you. It's like there is a spiritual exercise that I have given to certain people for one of their problems or a few of their problems, and that person diligently does it also, and that person starts benefiting, but I don't start benefiting at all. I mean, I start getting some or the other problems. I fall into some or the other problems. There is a karmic repercussion, I would not say, but a karmic balancing act that needs to be done, which means that there was certain karma that the person had to undergo, but because I had intervened, I means not just me, but anybody who would be like spiritual healers, spiritual teachers, and so on and so forth, triggered the positivity that needs to come into that person's life either earlier there, or in a little in a smaller or a narrow time frame faster, which was not how his or her karma calendar would go. In a situation like this, there is a karmic balance that needs to be done. Where would that person had to probably suffer at that point of time, but because of the positivity that were induced, faster things have started happening to him or her. Then in that case, where will that karma go? So that is a different kind of karmic balancing act. Now that requires to understand it in a much more complex and subtler way. I will not take that topic here at this point of time. I'll come back to my original question, is about the karmic repercussions if I had by just giving certain basic simple spiritual exercise to certain people and they not doing it. No, there is no such karmic repercussions, because I have done I tried to get somebody on the path of spirituality. The only problem here is the problem that I am facing, or many people like me would face, is attaching the I to it. But they say that I is the last thing that goes Even, after your entire kundalini gets uplifted, I is the last thing that will go. Okay, we all are attached to our I-ness. Okay, so in a situation like this, how do you get your detachment? Thought for your next question. How can you be, I'm not saying completely detached, but neki kar darya mein dal. How do you get to that practically? I like this question a lot, and this is another one for y'all. So think about it and get back to me. Namaste.